Sometimes it's hard for me to believe that it's been more than 10 years since the Dodge Dart came out. That's the new Dodge Dart, not one of the old Dodge Darts. Here I am in a video from 2013 introducing a Dodge Dart in header orange, which was one of the bright new colors designed to spice up parking lots that are today filled with gray and black SUVs. So first we'll look at my then intro and then we'll go to now and see what I think now.
So right now we've got behind us this beautiful Dodge Dart in header orange. It's a color that we guarantee you will not come out in full more on video, but it looks a lot like this orange. You have to actually show them the orange. You were showing them your hand. Yeah, that doesn't help.
So the color was great, and the color remains great for those who are going to actually use it, but the car itself has faded somewhat in recent memory. Partly with that self-fulfilling prophecy where if sales aren't great when it begins, then the auto reviewers all pile onto it, thinking, hey, if we can be proven right by the sales figures later. The reality is that the Dart was actually a very good buy. With the 1.4-liter engine you got great mileage, and with the 2-liter engine you got decent mileage and good reliability. It was a car that handled well, it was quiet inside, and it was large inside. The 2-liter engine with the automatic or with the manual actually had pretty decent pickup. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it was enough. And inside you had this basic dashboard, which was reasonable for the time, or you could get the really cool old digital dashboard. And actually, while we're here, let's go through the old digital Dart dashboard. This is the one in the car that I actually bought. The Aero needed some enticement for people to buy it because otherwise it was really not a great package. So here we are. I just turned the key on, revving the engine a little bit, and it's a really nice display that you get, although there's some sort of weird shape, cloudy shape behind the speedometer. I never quite figured out what that was all about. The information that you can display is quite extensive. It shows you more than one thing at a time, which is nice. You can easily transform this car into a Canadian-friendly vehicle, or Mexican-friendly vehicle for that matter. So it's a really snazzy dashboard, and I kind of miss that when I go to other cars. I hope that you like it as well. You can see that the gas mileage on it is pretty good. And if you stick to like 50 to 65, you can easily get that 41 miles per gallon that the EPA rates it at. Go up to 75 and the gas mileage drops down to about 38, which is still good. Both of them were pretty user-friendly and well-designed overall. The 8-inch center screen used the Uconnect system, which won many awards and was widely seen as being the best available. I still think it was, and probably still is. It's certainly better than what some automakers still have today, even if you didn't subscribe to the travel link, which was optional after the first, I think, 6 months or so. So keep in mind this is 2013. It was really pretty impressive for that era, and the digital dash was even more so. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Now back to 2013, when I'm going to talk about the dual clutch automatic, which didn't work out so well. Lift up your foot off the gas and the car crawls ever so slowly up. So a lot of this video focused on the automated manual transmission, the dual clutch automatic as they called it. And it did have an auto stick thing where you put it over to the left and you go up and down like I did just now. Well, that turned out to be an Aero. I bought it used. Getting the Aero was a big mistake because the Aero has a much stiffer suspension and it also has thinner windows. But it does come with a nicer electronic dashboard that looks a lot higher class than this one. And it comes with some other nice features like the backlit taillight. All of them came with a nifty overhead sunglass case and the lights that you just push on to activate, which are very handy. The Aero did not come with this handy seat container, which was in the Rallye. And now we're going to talk about my own Dodge Dart, a 2013 Aero model with the 1.4-liter turbo engine you see here with no engine cover because it didn't come with an engine cover, and with the manual transmission, a 6-speed Fiat model. My Dart was a lot of fun when it was new and I really liked it. I still like the handling, but everything feels loose now, and it's only got about 50,000 miles. Admittedly, it's 10 years old, well, 11 years old, but the stick shift, the clutch, everything feels loose. When this car was new, it felt fine, but it seems like everything's loosened up in the powertrain. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of low-end torque anymore. You really rely on the turbocharger to do everything anyway with that 1.4 liter engine. And it doesn't help that the turbo control, which is integrated with the turbocharger itself, thank you Fiat, has been cutting in and out unpredictably. It was taken out and cleaned off, and that seemed to work. But we're not even at 50,000 miles yet. Now, the Aero was poorly designed really because it has very stiff suspension. They basically dropped it by half of an inch, but they didn't do it the proper way. The thing is, if you get a regular non-Aero Dart, they're a lot nicer. And if you get the 2 liter or the 2.4 liter Chrysler engines, you don't have nearly the same number of problems. You still have that weird Fiat clutch where the shift point seems to wander around unpredictably unless you replace a little valve that they've got in there to protect the car from first-time drivers or something. And it's a much nicer car with the American engines. It's a lot of fun with the Fiat engine when the Fiat engine works and you're on a nice country road. It's not quite as nice in the suburbs. It's all right on the highway. The car itself is much nicer than a lot of people give it credit for. I still like the Dart. It's a very practical package. The trunk is huge, the interior is very large, the controls are all really quite good. I think that other than the push button for temperature up down, everything else makes a lot of sense, and it's even got a great stereo. Here it is parked next to its ancestor, the Valiant. The two of them really are completely unrelated in just about every way other than market position, which was the same for both cars. And maybe we'll do another video comparing them later.